The countdown is on for taking flight. It's the 2008 Atlantic HR Conference coming to Moncton, October 1st, 2nd, 3rd. Dan Martell is our guest. Dan is the CEO of Spheric Technologies. This company of yours specializes in IT infrastructure for only Fortune 500 companies like Procter & Gamble, many others, Johnson & Johnson. And Dan, I know you have a certain perspective on what taking flight is all about for Moncton, especially considering the level of the keynote speakers. What's your take on this?
I got to say I'm extremely excited. I've been a big fan of Roy's for a long time and Schminke's work. I think that those are two guys that really get it. They understand it, fundamentals, principles behind growing a team, understanding what it takes to build a culture and to allow really great things to take flight.
Roy Williams, the Wizard of Ads, Don Schminke, author, Code of the Executive. Some HR people are going to look and say, well, what does this have to do with HR? How would you explain that?
Yeah, and this is a great topic. I love it. I mean, from my point of view, the PR and the HR are becoming a mixed breed. And if you want to talk about marketing and branding, Roy is one of the best. If you want to talk about what makes a company and what kind of keeps people moving forward, it's all about stories, and Schminke is definitely the leader in that space. So when it comes down to companies being about people and those two factors, stories as well as marketing and PR, those are two of the best guys in the industry to bring in and talk about that stuff.
You know, so many people in the HR world feel they have so much more to offer at the executive table. How do you see this conference and these types of speakers helping to accomplish that?
Well, at the end of the day, these people are going to teach you guys skills and give you an understanding at a totally different level that will allow the C-level people to be able to execute their vision and their strategy a lot easier, when you don't have to essentially rally the troops all the time, because it's part of the DNA and it's part of the culture, and these two speakers are going to teach you those fundamentals. All of a sudden, work and strategy and results just become effortless. So,
Dan, one of the things, I mean, you travel all over the world. I know you've got clients all the way from Warsaw to Washington. You're in with some of the very top executives globally. What is it that people like yourself would like HR professionals to know?
I appreciate the question. I would have to say that HR is morphing into a different type of thing. It's not about pension plans and kind of benefits and kind of onboarding people and whatnot. It's really about ensuring that your team has a kind of sense of purpose. There's a lot of stuff around green initiatives and causal kind of strategies, and I think that communicating and telling stories as well as understanding what are the different things that people react to, those kind of situations, is going to be part of the HR. Really, the internal marketing and communication is going to be blended into one, and really your people are going to be lit by that fire, and kind of that's going to show in your results as a company.
I know in your work you travel all over the world. You go to San Francisco, Silicon Valley, New York. You go to many different very high-level conferences. How do you help Atlantic Canadians understand already what a level taking flight is at?
It's really tough because unfortunately a lot of local companies in Atlantic Canada don't have the opportunity to travel and kind of be exposed to some of the thought leaders. And when I say thought leaders, I mean world-renowned thought leaders in their markets, and that's what we've got with Roy and Schminke. And I'm really excited because bringing those people here is going to give the local people an opportunity to be exposed to it and hopefully implement it locally, which we'll have because we do work with a lot of global companies, a global impact.
Dan Martell, CEO of Spheric Technologies, one of the many thought leaders here in Atlantic Canada, looking forward to taking flight when the Atlantic HR Conference comes to Moncton, October 1st, 2nd, 3rd at the Delta Beau Séjour.